All right, today we are going to tackle a huge challenge for anyone with a website, taking payments securely. How do you create a checkout experience that looks amazing without opening yourself up to massive security risks? Well, we're going to break down a tool called Collect.js that aims to do just that. Let's dive in.
This is the big question, right? On one hand, you absolutely need a smooth, branded checkout experience. Otherwise, you risk customers just giving up and leaving. But on the other hand, letting actual credit card numbers touch your server is a giant security nightmare and a compliance headache. So how do you get the best of both worlds?
Well, the secret sauce is a really clever process called tokenization. So instead of your server ever seeing or storing a real credit card number, it gets this secure one-time use substitute, a token. Now, to a hacker, that token is completely useless, but to you, it's the key that lets you process the payment with the gateway. This one idea is what makes all of this possible.
To really get why this solution is so powerful, we have to first understand the problem, that classic dilemma that so many developers and online businesses run into. It really is a tricky balancing act. If you use a totally separate hosted checkout page from your payment provider, you lose all design control, and it can feel kind of jarring for your customer. But if you build your own custom form, you suddenly have to deal with PCI compliance, which is this incredibly complex and expensive set of security rules, and you're responsible for protecting that customer data. This is exactly the problem Collect.js was designed to solve.
So let's get into the solution. How exactly does Collect.js use this idea of tokenization to give you both ironclad security and total design control?
Okay, so at its core, Collect.js is a JavaScript framework. Its number one job is to collect sensitive payment info in a way that it never, ever passes through your own servers. This is what frees you up to design your checkout page however you want. Now, this is a super important point. It is not a full payments API. Think of it as the secure front door that collects the data and gives you the token. You then use that token with a separate back-end payment API to actually process the charge.
So how does it all connect? It uses something called a tokenization key. What's so cool about this is that unlike a super secret API key that you have to lock down on your server, this key is public. It's designed to be safely put right in your website's code. Its only job is to kick off the tokenization process, and that's it. It can't do anything else, which is just a brilliant and secure design.
I absolutely love this analogy. A valet key can park your car, but it can't be used to open the trunk or the glove box. In the same way, a payment token lets you process one specific charge, but it never exposes the actual credit card details. And just like you'd get a new ticket from the valet each time, these tokens are good for one use only.
Okay, so the concept is solid, but how do you actually put it on your website? Collect.js gives you two main ways to do it, and each has its own strengths. We're talking about the Lightbox method versus the inline method.
So on one side, you have Lightbox. This is your quick and easy option. It's a clean pop-up that just works. Perfect if you need to get up and running fast. On the other hand, you have Inline. This is for when you want ultimate control. It lets you embed the secure payment fields directly into your own custom form, making it look and feel completely seamless.
And here's a look at that Lightbox method. See? It's clean, it's simple, and it looks professional and trustworthy. When your customer hits the pay button, this little window pops up, grabs the info, and then securely sends that token back to your site. For a lot of people, this is the perfect mix of speed and security. And just because it's simple doesn't mean it has to be generic. Even with this faster Lightbox method, you still get some great customization options. You can pick different design themes and even set custom colors to make sure that pop-up really matches the look and feel of your brand.
Now, the inline method. This is where things get really clever. All you have to do is create empty little containers, like div elements in your HTML form where you want the credit card fields to appear. Collect.js then injects secure iframes, which are hosted by the payment gateway, right into those empty spots. So the customer is typing directly into the gateway system, not your website. And get this, there's even a style sniffer that automatically tries to match the look of your website's fonts and colors. It's incredibly slick.
So, whether you chose Lightbox or Inline, the end result is the same. You have a secure payment token. The big question now is, what do you actually do with it? Let's look at how that token becomes a real, successful transaction.
First off, let's talk about the token itself. It is strictly a one-time use code. As soon as it's used to process a payment, it becomes invalid. And if for some reason it isn't used, it just expires on its own after 24 hours. This really shrinks the window of opportunity for any kind of misuse.
So this breaks down the whole workflow from start to finish.
Step 1, your customer types their info into the secure fields provided by Collect.js. Step 2, a secure payment token is created and sent back to your website, which you then submit to your server. And finally, Step 3, your server-side code takes that safe token and uses it to make a call to the payment API to finalize the charge. The most important part? That sensitive card data never, ever touches your server.
And for any developers watching, this is the real beauty of it. Your back-end code gets so much simpler. Instead of juggling a card number, an expiration date, a CVV, and all that, your API call only needs to worry about one single thing, that payment token. It's just cleaner, easier, and way, way more secure.
Of course, these days, checkout is about more than just typing in a credit card number. What about modern options like Apple Pay or Google Pay? Let's see how Collect.js handles those.
This is what's so impressive. The integration is basically seamless. When a customer decides to pay with Google Pay or Apple Pay, Collect.js takes that information, tokenizes it, and gives it back to you in the exact same payment token variable. Think about that. It means your back-end code doesn't have to change at all to support these newer payment methods.
And setting them up is pretty straightforward too. You just have to give it some basic info, like the country and currency. Then you create an empty container in your HTML where Collect.js can place the official wallet button. Apple Pay has one extra little step. You have to upload a special verification file to your server just to prove that you own the domain. But that's pretty much it. So, when you put all of this together, what does it really mean for your website? Let's wrap things up and look at the complete picture that Collect.js offers.
If you remember anything, remember these 3 things. First, you get top-notch security. Tokenization keeps sensitive data off your servers and dramatically reduces your PCI compliance burden. Second, you get total control over your checkout's design, whether you go with the quick lightbox or the fully custom inline option. And third, you get easy modernization, letting you add popular digital wallets without a major headache.
And really, that's the whole point. It solves that classic problem we talked about at the very beginning. You no longer have to make a choice between a secure, modern payment system and a checkout experience that feels completely a part of your brand. With this, you can finally have both.
And that really just leaves one final question to think about. With customer expectations always rising and security threats getting smarter every day, it's worth asking yourself, is your checkout ready for what's next? Thanks for watching.